So this is a not min-maxed auto attack build that I've been creating for the past few hours today. Roughly worked on it for about 10 hours. It turned out pretty well. I was pretty happy with it. I wanted to share with everyone since I've had a lot of questions about how it works, etc. in the discords that I'm in, that I've showcased it while I was streaming. So this is a reference point for third ring. Alistair, coming out of the assassin tree right here, coming out of the soldier tree. This is how you want your ring set up. Alright, and here is the tree in its current form. Alright. So the way this auto attack build works, we grab Wintry Hail, makes our auto attacks chain 4 times. You can actually increase that if you had a better weapon than I currently do. Then we want to stack occult damage because we're going to be cursing and putting everything in stasis. These are your 2 ailments that you want to have at all times. Alright, we do cursed because of occult affliction. It gives us 70% increased damage. Really nice. A lot of occult damage bonuses coming up there. We can grab that if we want to, just as extra damage. And the further away things are, the more damage we do. You can also grab this. That's what I'm going to grab next later on, since our auto attacks travel pretty far. So it's not a bad idea to grab that node. Some life leech is good as well. Some attack speed so auto attacks don't feel crap. And this is another huge thing. You gain 120% damage to enemies afflicted by stasis, so your damage continuously stacks non-stop. Then stacking ailments. We have 100% chance to stack ailments faster. An additional ailment, so our auto attacks do stasis and cursed. And every time we kill an ailment, for each ailment stack on that enemy, we gain 5% damage. Since we have 2 stacks going at all times, we can easily get 50% damage off of this without any issues. You can get a little bit more using your abilities. Like I said, this is not min-maxed. And just some generic crit going on there. Attack speed when you crit. And this one is really fun. This tree right here really brings out the build. Okay. Overload points. When you auto attack, you gain overload points. Synergizes very well with our build, and doubles the damage of the next skill we use. And not only that, but we start using power charges because we're auto attacking so much. Our power charges stay at 100. So our devices and skills with base lightning damage have their damage increased by 200%. So it has to have lightning damage base, and then you can do that, or it can be a device, which is why I am currently using auto turret. It's considered a device, and I've actually switched it over to lightning. You don't need to because it's a device, but I've done it because it's just another stack of ailment right there, right? We have a 50-50 split between ferocity and wisdom pretty much. You want to grab essentially 50% ailment chance and 50% crit chance is your 2 go-tos. Now this is again not itemized. Eventually you're going to want to get that higher. The few uniques I have on this, I don't know why this is unknown weapon. This is something on their end, not ours. This is not a modded or hacked game file. We have this. This is the Max Festin Interact Catalyst. A pure occult damage pistol. I got extremely lucky on this. It was only sacred and aether damage on this before. And I tossed 3 shadow gems in there. Now I did mod my gold and this because, well, who wants to do that on single player? when you're testing out builds. Um, a Genesis helmet. This, if we ever do get sacred damage and start stacking weakness, we can start doing Shadow Novas on our attacks. I've been thinking about testing that, but the other thing on here is it lets you do Bulwark of Dawn. So every time we kill one of the cursed things and it gets 5 stacks of cursed, we get little pockets of healing that doubles up with our own Bulwark of Dawn. Voidforged Endeavors are my rings. This is mainly for the ailment chance score and the wisdom. Also having a ton of force shield isn't bad. As you can see, I'm pretty tanky. Got close to 36,000 effective health. Also gives you really good occult resistance score. These rings are pretty all over the place. As you can see, this one has 27% occult damage, 54% occult resistance score, but this one has 43% occult damage and 19% occult resistance score. So it goes all over the place. I'm currently using the Trial as my belt. You don't need to. Mark of Impurity is just nice. And I managed to grab this during my runs. +2 ailment stacks inflicted amulet. And the rest of it is basically just a bunch of wisdom or ferocity. You can stack one or the other. You want crit chance score. Cooldown reduction is not bad. It's not great either. You don't have too many cooldowns on this build. And we've got occult damage, occult damage, occult damage. So as you can see, there's a ton of occult damage all over the place, and the weapon has pure occult damage. So this is getting buffed quite a bit from various sources on your tree. The skills, we'll go over them. I have Aether Warp. This is the way I have it right now. Casting this skill removes crowd control effects, increases the range, lets you use it multiple times, increases the movement speed of the complete teleport, and leaves a decoy behind. This is pretty useful for the non-champion mobs. Turret can rotate, target enemies, additional cannon, stays longer, increase crit damage, and allows you to summon a second turret. You can grab this, as I said, for the other ailment damage stack, so your auto attacks are doing more damage whenever you kill things that your auto turret did. You'd be giving up the duration and you'd be giving up all this, the crit chance, crit damage, and the duration for this. It's personal choice, whatever you want. Bulwark of Dawn, duration, both the healing ticks, reduce cooldown, duration, follows you, and gives you an all resistance buff, so you're a bit more tanky. Plague Burst, I love this skill. It makes it a lot prettier, makes it feel good. Just increase ailment chance, so this starts giving toxic damage. You can switch it to fire if you really want, but it doesn't matter. It's just another ailment stack that you do, and it'll constantly stack things up, so you'll gain more and more damage. It increases explosions, increase crit damage, increase crit chance, leaves the poisonous cloud, so just non-stop damage. Now this skill, I am not going to stick with this. Eventually, if I get lucky one of these days to get Sovereign Shout on one of my items when I do the runs, I'm going to be switching to this pair of gloves, so my buffs given by my skills are more effective by 140%. And so Sovereign Shout, that gives us attack speed and cast speed. We can give ourselves movement speed. We can give ourselves temporary life leech if we want. All resistance score is really nice. I haven't really looked at this yet, but I do know this is what I want to do. inflicting them with weakness will actually do another ailment stack. Cleanse of crowd control immunity is great as well. Critical hit chance is also great. And you can also increase the effectiveness even more. So yeah, once I am able to use this skill, this will probably be my setup. You can do that, or you can do crowd control immunity, or you can do stun to give yourself some more ailment stacks. So one of those, as you see fit, as you feel like it. I'm going to go with Frenzy, since it's just more damage, right? That's if I had that item. If I don't have that item currently. So without further ado, let's get into the build, showing you guys how it looks like. We'll get the guys more tanky. We will give them some lightning bolts. We will give them some more tankiness. We will get them some more things. And we don't want to get them occultist resistance. We don't want to get them ailment, so I guess I get that. Alright, so we accept. Speed level 73 zone. This character's level 79. First thing you want to do is cast Bulwark, cast Plague, and start moving forward. As you can see right off the bat, already doing 20 damage, 20k damage on the auto attacks. This is just auto attacks, you know, it's nothing crazy. Very, very well.
I can't do that right now.
Even without the are really, really tanky.
They are the hard things.
I really enjoy this build a lot. 40k damage auto attack right there. You can rewind and take a look at yourself. The build just keeps getting stronger and stronger as the game goes on. The more health they have,
I can't do that
the
right
better
now.
it is. And look at that, just explodes everything, so it just feels extremely nice. So you're tanky, you don't need to worry on anything. You have unlimited resources, essentially. Stupid amounts of damage. Really good CC. Alright, level 79. Even after I've gone so many numbers pop up on your screen. And you might be asking yourself, well, awesome for groups, well, how's it do against bosses? Well, there you go. This guy has about 1,000,000 HP. Just absolutely chunks. A few seconds, 1,000,000 HP, not an issue. If you guys have any questions about the build, feel free to reach out. My Discord is going to be down in the description. I'll let you guys watch the next level. Play one more level. Then you guys see gameplay a little bit more. That's the build. Took me a long time to figure this out. I was really happy. Feel free to help me come up with a name for this. All I've got right now is Big Dick Auto Attack build. And, you know, can't really... Oh, maybe we can. Almost 70k damage crit. Right there. That was beautiful.
Manage that. I can't do that right now. Not possible.
I hope you like this video. Feel free to comment and subscribe if you want to see more of this in the future. I'm going to be theory crafting some more interesting builds. I've already got a railgun build in the works that I'm doing about almost 100,000 damage on it. It's extremely fun, extremely fun. Basically just a teleport and one shot an entire pack kind of build. But it doesn't feel as satisfying as explode an entire screen and leave noxious gas behind you and auto attack and never have to worry about willpower or rage.
It can't be done.
That kind of a build is really fun. Anyway, have a good day, guys. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Have a fantastic time on Wolcen.